Good evening, everyone. How y'all doing? Welcome to Changing Live, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Happy Thursday to everyone, and happy Black History Month to everyone. Um, we got an awesome show planned for you today. The show topic today, we're talking about how to leave your 9 to 5. So I know a lot of y'all very excited about learning how to do that and everything. So got a lot of good information for you regarding it. So just sit back, relax, make sure spread the word about the show. Anybody you know that, hey, be interested, check out the information. Got a lot of good information to the show, on the show tonight. We're just starting everything off. I want to kind of recap my week like I do always and talk a little bit about the Super Bowl. Congratulations to the Patriots out there and everything. It wasn't the most exciting action pack, but being a football coach, I think it was very well executed, defensively executed game, and so if you're a football aficionado, I think you liked it. But if you're a fair weather fan, you just want to see some action, you got damn disappointed. But like I said in the video, very. But what I put out there, congratulations to the Patriots. But as of 12 o'clock that night, everybody's undefeated again. So, so that shit over with. So, go Falcons. Get ready for this 2019 season. See how that goes and stuff. Super excited about that. Also, we've entered into Black History Month, February, and early in the week, I put it out in one of my videos. I want to challenge everybody to not just state this Black History Month, make it a personal challenge to yourself to each day learn something new in regards to Black history. We had the basic stuff you learn in school about Martin Luther King and Harriet Tubman and Barack Obama and everything. Well, let's go into depth and try to do some research. Google Black inventors, Black business people, Black military. Learn as much as you can to empower yourself. It's one thing a lot of times people use it as a crutch to say what kids today not learning or whatever. But hell, the adults don't know shit. So I just want to challenge people to, number one, get out there and investigate, but also read and learn as much as you can about just Black history. 28 days in the month. Take it upon yourself just to take that initiative each day. Make sure you learn something new, and you'll feel a whole lot better at the end of the month. You'll be like, wow, you know what I'm saying? To make your chest pop out a little bit more. Just knowing, okay, hey, I stand on the shoulders of some very, very, very impressive people from the past and everything. You feel real good about your history once you know.
That we're not as dumb as they portray us to be.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And there's too much out here to research. It's too many ways to research for you not to know it.
Absolutely. And to that point, when you don't know, you validate a lot of shit because you can't sit here and answer it. So when people say sideways comments about what you didn't do or what you don't know, you can't really articulate or expound on it because you don't know your damn self.
Right.
You just go off what people know. But when you take it upon yourself to find stuff out, you feel a whole lot better. Knowledge is very empowering. So again, I want to challenge everybody this month to really take it upon yourself to learn as much as you can about Black history each day. At least learn one thing, but if you really can, do 3 or 4, okay? Also, we in the third week of tax season. I am also the owner of Majestic Business Services. Business been great this year. Been fantastic so far. We want to keep it going, everyone. So make sure you go onto my website, www.majesticbiz.com. That's majesticbiz.com. You go to the scheduling link, book you an appointment. The calendar is there. Lock yourself in. We'll better take care of you. To go to that point further, I just if you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, we just got the plaque in today for the Entrepreneur.com 360 list. So I was super proud of that.
I saw that.
Yeah. That means one of the top 360 privately owned companies in the United States of America. And I look back at 17 years in business. We started off at a kitchen table, and I grind. Me and my wife put in a lot of work over the years. I did a lot of stuff that was very, very hard in terms of, I don't want to say it was damn slave labor or free labor, but I did a lot of shit that, when you go on through the process, you appreciate it and everything. Between going, run down WAOK, going and doing free seminars and damn near doing taxes for free and stuff like that. But just getting out there, learning, and in the process, you still learn how to be a businessman too, and everything. But you get no, what I tell people, get no scars,
Yeah.
and those scars are not to hurt you, they're to teach you and everything.
You.
There you go. And I'm seasoned like a damn
They season you.
some delicious smoked ribs because I got a lot of damn seasoning and everything. But I'm very thankful for my family, my friends, and all my clients over the years and stuff like that. And all the clients we have in the future because you hung in there with us, you stuck with us and everything like that. And I hope we can continue to do another 17 years. And we made 334 on the list. Hopefully we can crack into that 200 mark and stuff like that. A lot of that got to do with how much money we make and everything. So hopefully we can get into that and everything. So I think you people out there have a lot to do with that. So make sure you come to us, book those appointments. And again, we're one-stop shop small businesses. We do right now tax prep. We also do bookkeeping, payroll, do a lot of consulting, business startup in terms of incorporating your business and holding your hand through the whole process, giving all those front end, during the process, and back end consulting. So please give us a call. And that's also going to go into what we want to talk about with today's show in regards to leaving your 9 to 5. Also, if you make sure that you go to the YouTube channel, Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. People, please, I'm getting a lot of great support, and I appreciate all of it. Make sure you let people know about the show, spread the word, share all the videos we got and everything like that. If you got any comments, any kind of feedback, I don't care if it's positive or negative, shoot it to me and everything. So that's all. That's what we need. That's what we're going to grow from and everything because my whole thing that I want to do with this is make sure I'm putting out good information that I'm empowering everybody. Because I know so much stuff of the things I've done in my life, and I seen a need that people need this kind of information. So anything that I can help people with, I want to be able to do it. So please, like I say, feel free to send comments and information. Comment on all the videos, like, share, and subscribe to it. But again, that's Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden. Okay, we get into the show topic: how to leave your 9 to 5. Okay. Well, I'm gonna say this. When I think most time we start life, not start life, but just say get them that early transition part of your life, get out of high school, get out of college. Everybody got those same aspirations.
Yeah.
I'm get a job and start off with
get a good job.
Get a good job.
Get a good job.
We always think we're more marketing than what we are. And we start that little trek in terms of getting out there, and you really don't know. You have intentions of what you want to do. Mm-hmm. Like I always say when kids finish college, you got what you want to do, and you got who's hiring.
There's always a difference.
And who's hiring dictates everything because you can damn want to just be engineer, or scientist, or teacher, this, that, and that. But if they ain't hiring, shit, we got something called reality. You won't be able to do that.
Right.
And so when we start those treks in life where we start our working professions and careers and stuff, we have all this energy. And the premise that's always shot to us is that you work hard and you do everything you're supposed to do. Everything will work out for you. It's a real merit-based philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I kind of grew up in that. Starting off in the military. A lot of stuff based on merit and everything. That's probably one of the most bureaucratic organization you can have, just being super structured.
Right.
But in essence, that's not always how it works. You get that people that they go and start off that path, do everything they're supposed to do, go on the right track before they feel that they're doing the right track, and they working hard and they putting a lot of work in, and they say, okay, I'm going here. The first couple of years you're learning your craft, and you're being a company man or a company woman, doing what you're supposed to do. You're buying into it, the concept and everything, and you see it. Okay, cool. If I pay my dues, everything will work. And then you see things may pick up for you, things may not. Depend on how it is, and that's why I say a lot of times people forget that in theory, all companies will work, but it's people ran by people. And people gonna do what people do, and that's what they want to do. You go getting all your certifications,
Mm-hmm.
education, and all that kind of stuff, and you sitting there looking like, man, I'm doing it and everything. And you might see another person down the hall, they doing the same thing you're doing, but they shooting up.
Real quick.
And you trying to figure out what the hell going on. And you have come to that, what's the proverbial glass ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
And you undid everything you could do, everything possible, and everything that was promised to you to stay on that track to do what you're supposed to do. And the shit ain't happening.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't figure out what the hell is going on. And you sitting there just like, look, I done did everything I supposed to do, and this ain't happening. And now you stuck at a crossroads like, look, I'm doing this, I've done that, and you come across your mind like, shit, man, I can do this shit my damn self.
Right.
But then what happens is a lot of time we get to those points where we hit those crossroads where you sit there and think to yourself like, man, shit, man, I got that mortgage paid, junior graduate, another year and all that kind. I can't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that stops probably 90% of us and everything. And what people don't realize is that each person, I believe each person is born with a gift. And unless you choose to follow that gift that you got in life, you're always going to have some friction on how you go about your day-to-day things,
Mm-hmm.
And when you get to the point where you're getting up in the morning, man, I hate this shit. Supervisor asshole, they doing this, that, and that, and things ain't going the way. I can't get promoted. They disrespecting me and all this kind of stuff, and I'm tired of this shit. I can't stand it. You damn near sick,
Mm-hmm.
going in every day and stuff like that. You just don't know. But what you have to understand is that what you're doing is really, you're in control of that.
Mm-hmm.
You're in control of that. And most people don't realize the power that they have. It's just that fear and uncertainty is they have such a big grasp on you. You sit there just cycling yourself. You never move forward.
That's true.
And you see people that stay at a job 30 years and stuff like that. They proud they did it, but they full of what else.
Mm-hmm.
They're full of what else. And I think I talked about that on the show before in terms of you ever meet an older person, they full of damn regrets.
Yeah.
Now I said, man, you don't want to be like that. And they'll tell you like they older, like, man, I wish I had her.
Yeah.
And I don't like being no damn wish I person.
Yeah. Fear is debilitating. Fear stops a lot of things, and that's even with me.
Mm-hmm.
You start thinking about things that you need to do, things that you need to maintain,
Mm-hmm.
and it overcomes you. Like, man, I can't stop working at this job. I got this, I got that, and you start thinking of reasons why you can instead of thinking of reasons why you can't instead of thinking of reasons why you can. Why it should be.
Absolutely.
And most jobs that we work at as adults are not stimulating us anyway. We just do it because we're trying to maintain status quo. We're trying to get from point A to point B. We're trying to make sure those bills are paid in full, and we can click on the lights one more month and turn the key to the door one more month.
Mm-hmm.
But most people work at, I'm gonna say about 40% of people work at jobs that don't stimulate them. They just doing something.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a career. It's just a job.
Yeah.
And until we realize, and that goes for me too, until we realize that we will forever be miserable
Mm-hmm.
until we do something that we enjoy doing and figure out a way to make a living from it. We're gonna keep continuing that dangerous cycle. We're gonna keep getting debilitated by our fears.
Well, the thing, fear breeds in action.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about inaction, you'll always be stuck in an immobilized state unless you turn around and make that decision or have that confidence in yourself that you can change something.
Mm-hmm.
And until you create that confidence in yourself and really believe in yourself, and that's one of the most important things, believing in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you might not necessarily know how you're going to do every damn thing, but just knowing that, hey, I can do it,
I can do it.
that's what changes stuff. And when you allow fear and self-doubt to cripple you, you'll always be in that little immobilized state.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's hard to shake out of it. I understand how that is. But everything that you want to have in life going to have to come with that decision.
Mm-hmm.
That I can do this and I can do that. And with tonight's show, when we start talking about how to lead your 9 to 5, I want everybody to understand that regardless of what information we give tonight, it still has to come to, and we're gonna talk about that a lot. You have to make that decision to leave your 9 to 5. You have to make that decision that you're gonna be confident and you're gonna do what you do and stick the course. Because again, it's kind of cliche what people say. Well, I'm gonna be my own boss and all that, but this shit hard. This shit hard. when you go to your job, one of the pros of going to your job is, regardless if you exceed and do well, or you bullshit, you still gonna get paid. You know what I'm saying? You came from that Super Bowl party Saturday morning, you tired, your ass still damn drunk. Shit, you can't even see the damn computer screen.
On Monday morning, you like, man,
yeah.
I'm gonna go and call in.
Yeah. But even you called, just say you went in, and you did shit all day Monday.
Right.
You still got paid. And I'm pretty sure a lot of folks like that, man. I'm talking about still smelling like
hot wings,
liquor,
cheese,
every damn thing.
And liquor.
ain't did a damn thing Monday.
Right.
So again, and you still got paid. So when you start talking about getting out there and doing your own thing and stuff like that, shit, you don't go work, you don't get up and do something Monday morning, your ass ain't gonna get paid. So you gotta have a certain mindset to make that decision. And again, what I want people to understand is that when you're in these situations where you feel like you're not getting appreciated and you want to move and stuff like that, and you're living miserable, it does something to you. It stress you out. It causes health issues. Your stress, anxiety, all that kind of stuff. And when you go into a job, you feel like you're disrespected and nobody's treating you right and stuff like that, and you take that shit for 8 damn hours, it's going to manifest some way. So you see a lot of folks come home, man, why the hell daddy tripping? I mean, I'm speaking from personal experience, I come home, my family just sitting like, he crazy as hell, this, that, and that. They're understanding that, I'm going through, I'm hating getting up in the morning, dreading getting up. I remember before I left my job, damn job started at 8:30. Those last 3 or 4 months, I'm taking my ass in there at 10 o'clock. I just, if nothing intentional, you just, and you spend all damn day, you can't even be productive. You know what I'm saying? So like I said again, your misery with doing that stuff will manifest itself some way. It can be in your health, it can be with your family, just in life in general. And so you don't want, life is too short, life is too precious to not be happy. So again, with regards to the information we put in tonight about leaving your job, I'm gonna give you a good blueprint on what you need to do to leave your 9 to 5. But remember, most importantly, you got to make that decision. Once you make that decision, everything gonna be good to go. Again, this is Deonte Burden. Our show is Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden. Go to the YouTube channel, like, share, subscribe to it. I got a lot of good videos on there. I got my son William, my baby boy, in the studio with us today. And actually, William will be hosting our next show. We're going to skip, and I mentioned again, we're going to skip next week because it's Valentine's Day. And but we'll be back the following week. I think that will be the 21st. And me and William going to do a show together and everything. So, we'll be my money man. So we'll do a show together about parents and kids in college and stuff like that. So, but again, I think this is our 11th episode, and we probably got another 30, just 1 or 2 minute videos out there. A lot of good information. So please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden. Okay, the first thing I want to bring up to everyone, we start talking about how to leave your 9 to 5. The most important thing is just prepare. So we ain't even sit here and map it out and everything. And what I want people to do first, and again, if you're able to write it down, and keep in mind, after every show, I typically post the outline of everything we talked about. So I have this information there. But if you get a chance, write it down. But the first thing I want you to do is do your research. Make sure this is a viable idea. Right. I mean, a lot of times, I want to start this. I talk about this show. I get calls all the time just from the consultant side. I want to do this. I want to do that, and everything. And when I say, is it viable? Is it realistic? I understand you from the Virgin Islands. I understand that. And, you grew up eating coconuts.
Right.
But everybody in the A ain't no big coconut fan. So your coconut extravaganza shit just might not work here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not saying it's a bad idea, but just, is it viable here? And that's the kind of thought process we got to kind of look at, one thing I tell a lot of my clients is, especially when they're selling merchandise and stuff like that, I understand what you're trying to sell, but is that what people want? and you got to kind of be realistic and honest with yourself. Is this even something that is really can really happen? Not that you can't do it, but you might need to tweak it in terms of what you're selling or what service you're providing in terms of where you are.
Right.
So remember that viability. The next thing, again, we're talking about the preparation phase. Talk with your family. Okay, you need to talk this out with your family. You need to make sure that everyone is on board, because this is some very stressful shit that you thinking about, not just for you, but also your family. You
just
know,
don't walk in the house and say, I didn't quit.
Yeah, exactly, absolutely. So even from a availability standpoint, from a financial standpoint, can everybody handle it? And you need to be kind of, don't go on yes. We talk about the intuition, your gut feeling, like, okay, cool. Because what you don't want to have happen is you trying to chase your dreams and you lose your family in the process.
Exactly.
And everything. So you need to kind of look at it and everything. And it doesn't mean you can't follow your dreams, but the pace that you the pace that you want to go may need to be slowed down or kind of expanded out over a certain course of times, depending on where you're at. But make sure that's something you discuss, because it can put a huge financial strain on your family. There's also, just again, just your presence not being there and stuff like that and everything.
Right.
So that's one thing I want to really people to take serious with doing that. The third thing is probably one of the most important things I want people to understand, and that's draft that financial plan. One key thing I want people to understand when you're doing this is when you look at leaving your job, you do not have to replace your income. I repeat, you do not have to replace your income. You need to replace your living expenses, okay? And what I mean by that, if your job, just say you're making $50,000 a year, and between your mortgage, car note, and all that other kind of stuff, you'll probably come out about, just regular living expenses, $30,000. You need to be able to replace that $30,000.
Right.
Okay, because we can live uncomfortably, but those necessities we have to take care of, we got to make sure we can cover that. So again, we're drafting that financial plan. That's something we need to make sure that we're doing.
And I guess I want you to expound on the necessities, because people will say, well, I need that cable. It's certain. I want you to tell them exactly, well, not exactly what they need to do, but exactly the necessities that are, and most of people should know this, but hey, I'm gonna ask you to do it anyway. The bare bone minimums, and when you're trying to, quit your job and continue your business.
Okay, that's a good question. Basically, we just have to just make that list of our needs and wants. Those needs and wants. Okay, like you just said, we want cable. We want go shopping every month. We want to go on certain trips or go out on date night and stuff like that. Different things, but those are wants. When we say that we look at those needs, we're talking about shelter, we're talking about food, we're talking about car note, those kind of things. Now, with that said, that's when you make that assessment with your financial plan. Let's start trimming the fat. Okay, when we sitting there looking like, I don't need this. If you can survive without the damn cable. You ain't got to do date night every Friday. Y'all can just reconstruct it. You know what I'm saying? Do some Jason Lyric shit. Get some food and go get your little blanket and eat in the backyard. Yeah. There you go.
A couple of candles.
There you go. Be creative.
Right.
So those kind of things. I just want everybody to kind of reevaluate those needs and wants, make that list, and kind of craft out that financial plan. But remember, again, you do not have to replace your income. You only have to replace your living expenses. That's very important, because a lot of times people are like, well, man, I'm making this and I'm making that. Cool, but if you're not living on that, you don't have to replace that and everything. Again, this is Deonte Burden with Changing Lives and everything. So the next part with the pre-draft is create a soft business plan. And what I mean by create a soft business plan, your mission statement, your vision statement, do pretty much just get an idea of what you want to do, how you want to go about it, do a little soft market analysis in terms of, who your competitors and stuff. Nothing in depth. We just kind of write stuff on paper, trying to get an idea. cost information. Cost information in terms of is what would you have to pay for your products, price, what would you sell it for, get a general idea what kind of money you have to come up with, what you be selling it for. We're not going off field, we're going off just kind of get semi concrete numbers and everything. Do some projections, and I think if you start doing that, that kind of give you some reasonable idea of what you can and what you can't do in terms of if you can start now, if you got to wait, got to go in your savings, you got to get a loan and stuff like that. Just kind of do a little soft business plan to kind of give you an idea of what you need initially to start up. This is not the final product, what we're going to look at, but it's just we're in this initial phase trying to get those ideas together. And the last thing is what I just started off everything with. You have to make that decision that you want to leave. And once you make that decision that you want to leave, if you've done that, you will, all your focus and all your energy, all your movements will be going in that direction. That is so important. You can't be a want. You got to know it. Because once you know it and you want and you're moving towards that, every decision you make going forward will be towards that. Okay? Again, this is Deonte Burden. Our show is Changing Lives. Please make sure you go to the YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe to it. The next part, what I want to talk about, is just going through that transition. Okay, we had part 2, going through the transition of leaving your job. Okay, so you decided that, hey, I'm going to leave my job. I'm going to leave and everything like that. You made a decision. It's in your mind. Number one, do not quit your damn job.
That's very important. Thank you so much.
Leave
right.
do not quit your job. I cannot stress this to you enough. When you're making this transition, I want everybody to understand this is a logical journey. Okay, so we can't have emotions. You're gonna have times in the process. Okay, look, you decided, hey, I'm gonna leave my job. I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna go out there and step on face and do that and everything. That's cool. That's what you should be doing. But when somebody, supervisor, pisses you off or gets you mad or something like that, no, you can't. I quit my damn shit. No. No emotion shit can happen.
Right.
So remember, we're always dealing in logic. We're not going off any emotion. We're not going to do anything that's irrational. Keep in mind, stay logical through this whole process. Okay. The next thing I want everybody to remember is just you want to map everything out. Map it out in terms of, okay, I got this idea. This is what I want to do, and this is what this is what we're stepping out doing. Map it out in terms of, is this going to be a 6-month process? It's going to take me a year. It's going to take me a year and a half. And what's going to kind of put you in that? You're looking at what the information you got from that soft business plan. You'll know, okay, do I have the money to do this? How long do I have to save? What's available to me to do right now? Do I need to wait till my child graduates? Do we need to kind of get this bill paid and stuff like that? So now you're sitting there mapping it out. I really advise anybody kind of, put this stuff down on paper, get you a calendar or something like that to help you stay on course with everything. Because, again, a lot of times people say I want to do stuff, but, kind of going back to our show about goal setting, you make everything incremental. So if you're doing everything to get to that certain point, by the time that time comes, you've done those little things to add up to that one sum, and everything's done. So make out that little calendar in terms of what you need to be doing each day, each week, each month to get to that goal or whatever it is. So that's very important to kind of map everything out. Okay?
Let me ask you a question. I'm sorry to go backwards, but as far as the transition from your job, I think people get mistaken and that pride takes over, because you tell me, like, if you start your own business and ends are not meeting, you may have to go work a part-time job in order to fill in them gaps, and a lot of people don't want to do that. Do you think that's feasible? Even though you own your own business, it's just it hasn't taken off yet, and even though you've trimmed the fat down to the bare bones minimum, you're not even making enough to keep your expenses, your water, your lights. I think people get prideful when they're like, well, I got my own business. I don't need to go work for somebody else. And they wait till the last minute when when the furniture's getting set on the curb
Mhm.
to decide that they want to go and maybe do something a little part-time job. It's not taking away from your job, your business, but you're just filling in the gaps. Is that a feasible thing to think about?
Well, absolutely. And that's a good question. The goal is always more important than the pride.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, if we're trying to get to point C or point D, what we had to do at point B and C is irrelevant as long as we get where we have to. Now, again, you're not doing anything immoral. You're not
Right.
doing anything illegal. But if you have to get a part-time job, do some overtime, hustle a little bit more, sell some candy, or do some whatever, get out there on the exit and sell a little water to kind of help do some things, you got to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because the end game is the end game.
Right.
The goal is always the goal is most important. Like we said in the military, the mission first.
Right.
Mission first. So we know what we're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
So all that shit in terms of pride and all that kind of stuff like that, if you ain't willing to do what you got to do to get there, your ass really don't want it.
Right.
And that's just how that is. So again, when people say, "Well, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that," no, that's irrelevant. That's a good question, yes, because I even go back to what I spoke on earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was doing free seminars. Even now, I still do some stuff that's free just because I'm knowing. Look, I have to expand, get the brand out here, there, and now.
Right.
Your ass need to get paid.
Yeah.
And you out here paying dues to where you plant seeds rather.
Mm-hmm.
So later on down the harvest gonna come from it. So again, when you have things that you may look at, well, I'm too prideful for this, I don't want to see people doing that. Damn that shit. Because if you got somewhere you want to be, you're gonna put all that stuff to the side.
Right.
And I think people have to go into a mindset with that. That's a good question. Mission first. Goal dictates everything. Because if you're not willing to do what you got to do to get there, again, like I said, you're not compromising your values or morals or nothing like that.
That's
No.
it. I think they think that they're compromising on the business plan that they have, and they going. I want people to understand that, like you just said, you get from point A to point D. All point B and C and all that to get to point D does not matter. You can be drugged there, kicking and screaming, as long as you get there.
Yeah, and again, when you're going through that and you're doing those things to get there, you appreciate it. Once you reach your destination, you appreciate it more because you know what you had to do to get there. Let's be real. If it was that easy for everybody to be successful and go out here and step out and do their own thing, wouldn't everybody do it?
We would all do it.
So
Everybody be doing.
and I just talked about those scars. You got to get them. Scars, I mean, just you're going to get some no's. You're going to get a lot of damn no's. Well, and in business, no don't mean no mean not right now.
Right.
So, shit, all that kind of stuff is irrelevant. So, you worrying about, again, I ain't going to be kissing nobody's tail. I ain't going to be doing all that shit like that. Look, man, hey, you just might have to finagle a little bit, finesse them a little bit more and everything like that, Trust me, it's a lot of folks that told me no. I come back later, shit, I just, like I said, no me not right now.
Right.
Talk to the wrong damn one with that. Nah, that's a good question. That's a good question, lad. To that point, the next step when we start talking about with the transition, you got to stay motivated. Make sure I talk about it all the time. We're in the information age. YouTube, Google, seek advice. You can go out here and get you some mentors that can school you, talk to you, and everything like that. You got a lot of meetup groups and stuff like that with some like-minded people, making bounce off ideas and stuff like that. You're in a point now. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be as lonely as a walk as it used to be. Mm-hmm. So stay motivated in the process because you're gonna have those moments. You're like, damn, I'm second guessing myself, man. This shit worth it. This shit ain't moving fast enough and everything like that. And those are moments where, again, self-doubt, fear, all that stuff creeps into you. And next thing you know, man, what happened to the thing you were trying to do? What happened to all that kind of shit? Man, that shit wasn't going nowhere. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like, wasn't that Napoleon Hill book where we was talking about the diamonds in the field in Africa where the guy dug and dug for years.
Right.
Soon as they had sold it, yeah.
Soon as you laugh at, soon as you quit, you gonna step right at the diamond gonna be right there.
Man, next thing you know, you be like, shit, somebody done bought it from you and they get it. And you just be like, you dumb MF, So stay motivated. Please stay motivated through the whole process. So the most.
I'm sorry about that, y'all. That's the house phone.
No, that's fine. So please try to put yourself in a situation where you can be motivated and got people to support you through the whole process with that. The other thing is seek advice. And it's kind of like we was just talking about the pride thing. So many people don't come to me, just say, okay, I'm a business consultant. And we get people that don't come to us in terms of, I don't need an accountant. Because in essence, what I do, you don't need me to start. You don't need to speak with Deonte to get started. And you try to go out there and do your own. You want to do your own accounting. And you equate that to balancing your checkbook. So my wife, she can do the books. And, I can get a contract on Google. We don't need to get all that kind of stuff to start up and everything. Because typically when you start a business up, one thing you need is typically just insurance guy. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to have the accountant, you don't have to have attorney and stuff like that. But what happens is you start up and then you don't have a proper contract. Somebody get over on you, try to go take them to court. Your damn contract got some of the damn loopholes. You don't know what to do. You go to try to get your taxes done. You want to do some TurboTax shit. Next thing you know, you get your ass audited. And then when you come to a person like me, now we poking your eyes out. Because we got to go back, not to do your taxes, we got to go back and fix the mess up and then do it.
Right.
So, again, it's a whole lot cheaper to do it on the front end. Now, it prolongs stuff. Mm-hmm. It can make stuff a little longer, and kind of drag everything out, but it's the right way to do it. So, please seek the proper advice. Make sure you touch base with the people that can give you the right information in order for you to be successful. Again, I understand it may prolong it. It may cost a little bit more money, but trust me, it's the right way to do it, So that's one thing I really don't want folks to miss out on. The next thing is get right on top of that business plan. Now, again, we did the soft business plan, in the pre-stages, in preparing. Now we're in the part of transition, and we want to get a concrete business plan. We got some definite numbers out there. We've talked to vendors. We got costs. We know how much it's going to be to start this business up. We got realistic numbers from the market where we can sell from it and everything. We're not going on emotion. We actually got viable numbers. We can say, okay, this is realistic what I can sell it for. I know how much it's going to cost me to do it. I can project some real numbers. If I got one person that can do this, I got two people can do that. You're actually getting everything together. You've done some solid market analysis. You know that you have X amount of people in Atlanta, Georgia, X amount of people in Decatur you can push it to. You got a solid business plan. And now you can sit here and look here and do your math and say, okay, now this is the time. Remember, we're in the transition part. We on that trek, so we ain't playing no more. We done got away from all the thinking and hoping and praying. We're putting everything in action. So we got good numbers. Remember, numbers don't lie. Now, when you're dealing projections and numbers, always remember that when you're doing this, that projections are just that, projection. We can create them and everything. So try to do as realistic as possible to kind of get those numbers close to what you need to be. Okay. And last with the transition, make sure you're financially okay. And what I mean by being financially okay, that you put yourself in a position with your budgeting and your practices over the time getting prepared to be on a personal side and a business side. You can kind of be able to sustain some pitfalls here and there. Because a lot of times people, when they think about going in business, leaving their job, if I sell this, I sell that. But, you got peak season, you got down seasons. So make sure you're in a position, that, you can always cover your mortgage. Like I said, remember, we're trying to cover those living expenses. That's what we got to make sure we got. And on the business side, you're not in a position where, when peak season come, you don't have enough money to buy enough of your product to sell to people. And it should happen all the time. You go to the restaurant, just open up, and everybody wants to support it, and they not even really can handle new business. We done sold a lot of chicken. How the hell you just sold like that? What the hell y'all sell? Business ain't like that. Well, now, why the hell I'm gonna go to this place again? I'm gonna go to the other place because hell, they all run out of bread and chicken.
Right.
And
I never got no bread and chicken at this place.
Shit. So please. I always damn out. Hell, y'all open up at 8, it's 10:30. How the hell y'all ain't got no damn chicken? So please make sure you can financially handle all those, bumps in the road that you'll encounter. Again, this is Change Your Lives, hosted by me, Deonte Burden. Please go to the YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe to it. Again, our show we talking about tonight is how to leave your 9 to 5. Okay, we went through part 1. Is number 1, preparing to leave your 9 to 5. Part 2, we're just going through that transition. Now, part 3 is after you've made that move, what you need to be doing.
Let me ask one question on the financially okay part.
Okay.
when covering your expenses, your living expenses, and any money you make over that, I believe that should be put back into the business to sustain the business for later on. Like you were saying, having enough money to buy supplies that you need for peak season and down season. You get what I'm saying? So to me, I was thinking once you make enough money to cover your living expenses, because you still should need to trim the fat. Just because you're making money don't mean you need to start adding cable and stuff back to the expenses. You need to keep that where it's at, and then take that any money that's made over and put back into the business to always make it better. So you will have chicken after 10:30.
That's a great point, but I'm gonna tell you something. While I look at it, you want to just say if you get $100 extra each month, I would advise that you put at least $85 back. Maybe keep 15 to yourself, because again, you're going through a process that is rough. So you may do want to go out on that date.
Right.
You may want to have a little fun, and that kind of helps keep you motivated. So I don't necessarily say put all of it back into it, but keep a small percentage, maybe 10 to 15% to yourself and everything like that, because just again, you can get so overly consumed in the business. And that's a good point. We do want to keep reinvesting back into that business, because we want to we have those opportunities and stuff pop up. We don't want to miss out on it because we ain't got the money. But I would just say as a rule of thumb, keep 10 to 15% on that overage to yourself and everything like that. And I ain't saying you got to necessarily splurge it, but you sometimes may need that to kind of sustain yourself from a mental standpoint, because you can't get burned out trying to do it, and everything. But you do have to be mentally prepared to be, work the hell out yourself. So that's one thing I think a lot of.
You quit 40 hours, work 8 hours?
Yeah, I work 20 hours a day. Someone had to work 40 hours a week. And it's crazy that sound. That's really how you got to be into it, and everything. And when you're actually doing your own thing, you're unconsciously doing it because you got so much energy, so much passion about what you're doing. You working the shit out yourself, and you doing that, and you ain't tired. Your ass spring out the damn bed next morning like you slept damn 10 hours. But when you love what you're doing so much, your body does that and everything. And it's the opposite. You going to work, shit, you can sleep 8 hours. You get up, dragging, bumping in the walls. Oh, shit, I got it, man. I don't want to do this stuff. Yeah. Damn, slap my supervisor. You ain't even brush your teeth yet. You think about slapping your supervisor. Hey, I've been there, folks. I've been there for it. Boy. I had an ass, too. Shit. I know how it feels. I want to hold them about his damn ankles and everything. Changing lives. We at the last part. We talking about after you make that move. Okay, after you make the move. You made the move. You left your job. And I know this shit just like jumping off a damn cliff without a parachute. Scary as hell. You're nervous and stuff like that. You don't know what the hell behind that door and everything, but you made the move. Be super proud of yourself, okay? But one important thing you got to do, you got to make sure you stay disciplined. And being disciplined what got you to this point so far. You have to make sure you stay on that track. You cannot, because what happens is, it's kind of like when your kid first go to college. And we say a lot of times, and we really don't a lot of time prepare for that, all this damn freedom. I used to tell my son a lot of times, he'll have one class a week, so he think he got 7 damn days. But his schedule, he had between the football practice and the games. I'm like, brother, you ain't really got but 2 hours of downtime to think about that one class. And every class was like that. So you have all this free time because you're not going to work every day. But in essence, you don't have it. And you have to be super, super disciplined to make sure you stay on the right track, because it's very easy. You get off, course because you got all this time to do stuff. So being disciplined, that's one of those key traits of an entrepreneur. You have to stay on course. And, a lot of that, goes into, what you just talked about. Be mentally prepared to work the hell out yourself. You got to callous your brain to like, look, this is what we're going to do. I'm barreling down. This is where I'm at. This is where I want to be. And you staying focused on that goal. Don't let doubt stop you. Don't let that fear hold you back and everything like that. Still do the same thing. Meet with people and groups and stuff that's going to help you stay motivated. That's going to help you stay on track with everything. So make sure you're doing that. Another great thing to do, well, it's great. I would say damn mandatory, to be honest with you. You're routinely doing these checks on yourself. Checking yourself on a weekly basis, a monthly basis, hell, a daily basis, quarterly and yearly. You you're looking at those metrics in terms of what you're doing, how my sales going, in terms of the cost. You constantly evaluating what what you need to be doing. Am I making money today? Am I making money this week and everything? You have to
and how you can do it better.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. If you're constantly doing that, you'll be on top of it. And you also have an awareness of when you're in business, you're doing stuff. Damn man, can I call this other vendor up? Can I call another guy? To help me out with that. And that leads me to the next point is, if you don't know how to do this shit, go get you somebody that does. And let's go back to like seeking good counsel.
Right.
I can't tell you, man, how many people come to me really because, they damn drowning and they need me throw them a raft. And I'm just like, shit, man, I think you just need to get you another damn boat.
Right.
And if you do not know how to do those evaluations, get you some counseling. If you want to learn, have them teach you.
Right.
If you don't know, I'm just saying, the beauty of Google is that you have the accessibility to the information. The bad part of Google, you have the accessibility to information. You don't know shit about no contracts. It's the reason why people go to law school.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just like WebMD.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how to check your damn blood work, but you see all this shit. I got this bump on my damn neck. So you thinking it's okay, well, WebMD says this, that, and that. Your ass got a damn tumor. And you they do it all the time, don't they? Right. So, when you going through this process and you doing stuff that you're not familiar with, please try to get proper counsel. Mm-hmm. Hey, listen, I got all these numbers in front of me. Hey, sit down and explain to me, what should I be looking for? What can I be doing? Now you're empowered because, again, now you're looking at these metrics. You have a good idea what you're looking for. And keep in mind, things vary from business to business. Mm-hmm. So make sure, that money is well spent. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of times people base that too much on the money that they have, but that money is well spent if you get the right people to explain to you what to do. But definitely routinely check those numbers. I can't stress that to you enough. And most important why I end that is make sure you enjoy yourself. You left your job for a reason.
Right.
You didn't leave your job for you to be creating some shit that you hate more than your damn job. Yeah, I seen it, man. I seen it. Yeah. I seen them damn folks that did the shit and they didn't do it the proper way, seek advice, and they are so damn defeated and they doing some crazy shit, calling the job back. And I seen it, man. They walk back in the job, that damn manager sit with their arms folded up,
like,
and I knew your ass to be back. Yeah. Hey, man. The coconut business didn't go well, did it? Shut up. And you don't
gonna have something smart.
Yeah. I knew your ass can do that shit, man. I told man. I heard, man. I told you. So make sure you're enjoying yourself. Yeah. Remember why you left, and if you remember why you left and the energy that you had to leave and stuff like that, that'll be a constant check on yourself to stay on course. Yeah. Yeah. And I think a lot of times people can kind of lose discipline and forget about certain things and get comfortable, which you can't do. You got to stay on your P's and Q's.
You always got to try to. What I find out is that you've always got to be researching. I research every day for this. Every day, I get at my day job. I get about an hour. Everybody gone because I'm the last person damn to leave. To let me tell it, and I just research stuff. I just look up stuff. See, today I looked up the top viewed shows on YouTube. Yeah. Just to see. I mean, these shows and some of these are music videos. 5 and 6 billion views. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I'm researching that and see, okay, well, how do they do that?
There you go.
You know what? And when I noticed that it was mostly music videos, I said, okay, it has something to do with music. But those are things you have to do. You have to constantly keep researching to refresh your mind. It motivates me because then I say, okay, well, if it's videos, then what do I need to do with podcast? You know what I'm saying? So you constantly have to keep researching stuff.
Yep, and you constantly empowering yourself.
Constantly.
You constantly empowering yourself, and when you know something, a person that is confident and knows what they're doing and stuff like that, you just move smooth. You move smooth. You ain't doing all that rambling and running and everything like that. You staying right on course. Even with ending this, guys, I want y'all to understand that this shit ain't meant for everybody. Okay, I want everybody to understand that. I understand that whole thought process. I want to do a business. I want to do this, that, and that, and everything. This shit ain't meant for everybody. Now, can anybody do it? Absolutely. Anybody can put a damn car together. Anybody
Right.
can damn build a house from scratch. Anybody can do anything. But this shit ain't meant for everybody.
Right.
And you have to be very realistic with yourself in terms of, will you be disciplined enough? Will you be focused enough to stay the course to make it go? Can you handle all the fear, the self-doubt, all the pain, all the discomfort that you're going to cause to yourself, your family, your bank account, your lifestyle, everything? And you got to be realistic with that. Is that passion, that love that you have for this going to be that? Will it supersede all of that?
Right.
And everything. So I hope I gave out some good information to everybody, and everything. I ain't want to, I didn't want nobody to feel like, well, we're going to get some fun stuff to do this, that, and that. It's work. But I think if you kind of go through those 3 basic plans, I think you'll be in a good spot. If you need any further information, make sure you go to my website. I do a lot of consulting in terms of business development, business strategy, business incorporation, business formations. That's one of our main services that we do, Majestic Business Services. I know we're at the beginning of the year. So please, 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 don't put yourself in a situation where I didn't know, I didn't book an appointment.
Mm-hmm.
Go to my website. You'll see the scheduling link right there. Book your damn appointment. Book a consulting appointment. We'll sit down. We can talk. Go through the whole process from if you got an idea to forming a company, how to do all your projections, everything. Like I said, 18 years in the game. I know a lot of stuff, and I can't stress to you enough in terms of I'm doing this now because I want to see people be successful. So again, if you're interested in doing this, you have some shortcomings, or even if you don't, because there's so much stuff you don't know, go to the website and book an appointment. D Burden Consulting. You'll see a link at our website. Again, that's Majestic Business Services, www.majesticbiz.com. The link will also be on the video and all our videos. Book an appointment. I'll be able to, go more in depth with everything we talked about and put in more information about this with everything. Again, our show is Changing Lives, hosted by me, Deonte Burden. Hope we gave some good information to you in regard to how to lead 9 to 5. The quick life tip I want to give real quick to everybody is I've been going to a lot of networking sessions and a lot of startup events. Be ready for opportunities, people. I'm going to too many damn places where people, they come in with a nice ass suits. The women got their hair laid and everything, and we such and such incorporated. They ready for this, that, and that, and they ain't got no damn
Business cards.
business. The fuck?
The simplest thing to do. I knew you was gonna say it. I knew it. I said he finna say business cards.
And I get the same lie. It's in my car. Man, come on now. Your ass ain't ready. You ain't ready. You have to be ready for opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
When you talking about doing this stuff, you gotta put yourself in the right opportunity. Come on now.
People take business cards for granted.
I mean, that's the first thing.
People come in here and do interviews, with the shows, and I'm always handing out business cards. It's because they may not look at it again, but it might be 2 or 3 out of 5 that might look at it again. You get what I'm saying?
You have no idea how many calls I get. Brother, I met you at this place here last year, this, that, and that. Got your card and everything like that. And even to go further, have your websites together. Because again, remember, the website levels the playing field. You can have that's a one-man operation as far as consulting, and you have one of those major consulting places out of Boston and L.A. Shit, the website lowers the playing field. If you got a nice website, they don't know how many people you got.
Exactly.
So have all that shit together and stuff like that when you prepare. Be incorporated. If you want to say, well, hey, you black-owned business shit, y'all do construction? Oh, man, we know some minority contracts we can put you on. Oh, man, I ain't got this and I ain't got that and everything. But you came to these networking sessions in your nice suit, everybody smelling good, looking good, and your ass no different than a dude walking on the damn street. So be prepared for opportunities. I can't stress that to you enough. I'm seeing this shit too much that people they in business because like I told my son the other damn week. Only thing I do is get your business license. You in business.
Right.
Shit, you don't need nothing else. Go
Right.
pay $60, $70, $80. Go get your business license. Now you in business.
Right.
But that don't mean shit when opportunity comes. So I just want to stress. I can't stress to you enough. Be prepared for opportunity. All the things you need to do to get to close those deals and get those kind of things. Make sure you got that covered because when preparedness meets opportunity, it equals success. And so if you're not prepared when opportunity comes, it's going to equal sadness. And you're going to be blaming everybody but your damn self because you don't want to be accountable for your stuff you got to do.
Right.
But again, that goes back to booking those consulting appointments, going to Majestic Business Services. And look, we can hold your hand through the whole process. Make sure you're totally prepared for that, okay? In closing, I really want to stress to everybody, believe in yourself. And because all the stuff we just talked about today in terms of leaving your job and stuff like that, if you're not believing in yourself or really knowing what you can do in life, none of this shit matters. You got to be confident. You got to be confident in yourself. And you got to be confident to know with the highs and lows that life going to throw to you, that at the end of the day, shit, I can make this happen. You got to be a feel that way. You got to know that you a bad MF. No matter what happens, I'm going to do this.
Right.
I'm going to do this. I know a lot of times people talk about Poochie this, Poochie think he's so arrogant and this, that, and that. I ain't damn arrogant. I believe in myself.
Just know what you know.
Yeah. I know me.
Right.
I know me and everything and stuff like that. And I'm honest about that. But believe in yourself because life rough. Life rough.
If you can accomplish it and you know you can accomplish it, what's keeping you from doing it?
Absolutely.
Because just thinking it doesn't do anything. You have to go out and do it in order to achieve it. You can't just sit back and say I can do it and don't do it. Don't start it. And I want to go step way back one little step real quick before we go. When you do the research and you find out what other companies that may be doing the same thing that you're doing, don't get discouraged from it. See how you can do it better.
Absolutely.
See how you can step it up from what they're doing to maybe do it a little bit better than what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be 4 people selling coconuts. But maybe if you sell coconut soaked in pineapple juice, you may just be
Cha-ching. Cha-ching. And that's a great point. And in closing, everything I want everybody to understand is that a lot of times we see people in certain situations where we want to be, and in its most simplest form, the only difference is with them and you is just that they did it. They ain't no smarter than you. They ain't got more money than you. They ain't got more experience than you. It's just they did it. And your inaction and your fear and your ineptitude to move forward is what caused you not to be successful. And that's some shit you never want to be in. Say, listen, I really appreciate you guys tuning in to our show, Changing Lives. Remember, you go to the YouTube channel, Changing Lives, hosted by me, Deonte Burden. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you tell all your family and friends about the channel. Remember, this tax season. I'm the owner of Majestic Business Services. Please go by the website, www.majesticbiz.com. Go down to the scheduling link. You'll see it. Book an appointment. We'll take care of you, all your tax needs, your business formation needs, bookkeeping, tax prep, one-stop shop for small businesses. I want to thank you again. I love you guys. Feel free to make sure you touch bases with us. The number is also 678-479-4007. Again, this is Deonte Burden, Changing Lives. I see you guys in about 2 weeks. Take care. Love